I'll tell you a team that is so empty. It's Order. Only 4 round wins in 2 games, and we expected them to be kind of flying in stage 3. It's not to be, but we've got to have a dig every now and then. You know, Specker comes on and talks all that trash. It's good to just give it and dish it out. But let's be completely honest here, because Overt have had a fantastic start to the season stage.
Yeah, I mean, oh, you want to go, Dev?
No,
Sorry.
no, please.
It's not like
just saying,
it's
yeah.
not like
the
I
guy who
said
knows what he's
fast
talking
or
about.
anything,
Yeah,
but
I
that's
mean,
okay.
That's what I thought. Anyways, yeah, I mean, we've talked about it before. They've had a really good start to the season.
Yeah.
I think, you know, eventually, I do think Overt will lose a game. Like, I'm just being honest. I don't know, but it's been really incredible watching them play. I've really enjoyed their play style. I think they have kind of a lot to work on, obviously, for being a new team coming to OCN, but it's a really kind of unique opportunity they have leading up to the end of season playoffs. And I think, I don't know, for Order, I guess, it's a very important win. Today, Order need to win this game. I cannot stress that enough.
I guess that's it, right? Order and Overt. Dev, what are we going to expect with this matchup? I mean, I want to say it feels like Order should be able to do this, but I mean, can they?
I sure hope so. 4 rounds so far in their previous 2 games in OCN. A loss to Rufflecopter, a loss to Wildcard. Even lost in APAC South to Elevate, a team they've previously beaten both times they faced them. Order are not in form right now, which is gutting to think. Right after bringing on Derpe, their new coach, formerly a Wildcard player, he played at Six Invitational, at Tokoname. Like, right, surely bringing on a support staff would finally make the difference that this team needed, right, Vast?
Yeah, I mean, having that person to be able to, you know, sit there and watch you guys scrim and, you know, give you advice and notes at the end of the scrims, it's really valuable, because if you don't have a coach and it's just, you know, the 5 of yous, there's just going to be some things you don't even realize you're doing, and having that kind of person, you know, I really like Bailey's camera. That is interesting.
He's packing taped it to the roof, I think.
Yeah, I think the value that the coach should be bringing to this team should only help them and benefit them.
But, you know, in the same breath, shouldn't it be Style and Nico have had that impact earlier in the year?
To be honest, no hate to Ippy Style, but I don't know how much coaching he did. Nico, I think when they had Nico, I did see a lot of improvement. When he came in, he actually did kind of shape that team, and I did see a shift in their playstyle. And we actually saw, like, kind of, you know, Nico's coaching. We saw the results from what came from him coaching. Obviously, he's been playing for what, stage 2 he joined as a player.
Yeah, it was one more me talking absolute trash. Now, what I do find interesting is Bailey has actually taped that to the roof, Dev. As we start to talk about Overt, we can move away from these rare specimens. The humans, mate, I don't get it. But we are coming up against a roster that there's been a spark. There's an energy around these guys right now, Dev.
Yeah, totally. I mean, the opening game was against Knights, a very formidable opponent. They found 5 rounds on Oregon, which is what we just saw as well from Wildcard. So this is a really impressive start for Overt. Following with that, they got their first ever win in OCN, 7-5 over Rhythm. Keeping in mind, just a reminder, these guys haven't played in OCN before. Stage 3, they were brought on up because LFO disbanded. So Overt graduated from OCL. They've been rocking it in there, and they've come up and joined. They're looking pretty hyped. We see them. They really love this opportunity. They love the energy. There's some young gunners, and they could totally take it to Order, especially a weakened Order. I mean, this team has so much potential.
Fast?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with Dev. I think their ability to play really aggressive with kind of no fear, I think a lot of the OCN teams will, it will catch a lot of the, I think it will catch a lot of the OCN teams off guard. I think maybe the OCN teams expected them to be a bit more passive, timid, and kind of, not really kind of playing the way they're playing right now.
It's what we needed to see, though. We needed to see a team that would kind of shake up the dynamic of the league, even in terms of, you know, kind of just throwing everything. Overt, one of the rosters that there is just a little bit of hype about. There's a little bit of how you going about them, Dev, and there is a real feeling that headed into tonight, you said it, a weakened order, they could be in line for maybe 3 points. Who knows? Honestly, I just don't know what's going to happen in anything that happens in No Siege anymore. I've kind of thrown that out the window. But let's have a look at the vetoes, and I'll let Dev kind of dive into his spreadsheet as per.
Oregon, it's exactly what we saw Overt play the Knights 2 players ago. Exactly what we just saw. It's also where we saw Oregon lose, Order rather, lose to Elevate just the other night. So, yeah, I mean, we've seen both of these teams play it a whole bunch. I'd say it's a pretty moderate to strong team for Overt, probably a moderate map. Oh my god, moderate map for Order. I don't know, Vas, if you have any deeper insight than that, but I feel like this is a pretty even battleground.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that Order banned Clubhouse. I mean, not really. I think kind of the decision there with Clubhouse, kind of looking at it, maybe it's like Order are not necessarily playing to kind of Overt, because if I was to counter ban Overt, I'd ban the Oregon. They looked really strong on it against Knights. It seems like Order's approach here is, you know, maybe they're not really feeling Club recently, kind of just play to their strengths instead of, you know, trying to take Overt to a weaker map. And to be fair, I don't think that's necessarily bad, because like Order do have info on Overt's Oregon, so maybe they think they'll be able to counterban from like voting. Whereas if they were to go to another map, they don't really have much information to go on.
Yeah. I'm just like having a quick scan at this, and I am surprised that we are going back to Oregon for Order. I thought maybe last night would have been enough for them, but it turns out that they're looking to bounce back here, Dev. As we start to look at this one as an overarching thought, do we have any win conditions? I feel like it's got to be for Overt, right? Like, surely Order are coming into this favourites. I say that with just so much hesitation.
I feel like I have a clearer expectation of what to predict for Overt than I do for Order here. I feel like it's pretty clear that Overt are going to be coming in hungry. They love playing a little bit aggressive. They love the frag-heavy play style. They love just swinging, and they've got the skills to back it up. You know, I'm thinking like Oregon basement, like they're just going to be pushing down the rear stairs, swinging into pillar, and really just taking these aggressive fights. And Order, though, like on the other hand, they're the ones that I find harder to make expectations for, because we've seen just such a variety from them in terms of we've seen them play with some serious conviction, we've seen them play with a bit of tilt, and we've seen them get a bit deflated when they're on a bit of a losing streak. We've seen them play amazingly, and we've seen them play pretty shocking. So it's just a bit of a question of which Order comes out today. Are they feeling it? Do they feel like their practice has started to gel a little bit more? And these questions we're not going to know until we start seeing them play in the server.
I guess coming into this, Vas, would you be kind of worried if you were Order? You know, you're not on the hottest streak right now. You kind of kicked down the door of APAC South in day one, but since then it hasn't really been trending in the, I would say, most positive of fashions. And you're coming up against Overt, which would just be very hard to play against no matter who you are. It's been proven. Do you think that this is a concern for Order at all?
I do think so. I don't think it's a concern necessarily just because it's Overt. I think kind of Order's position throughout APAC South and OCN, they haven't really got many wins. Overt have 3 more points than them. So if Overt were to win today, they'll be 6 points ahead of Order, and that is, you know, Order are going to be the ones kind of chasing back the entire season. And as well, there's a lot of importance for them to win this in terms of momentum as well. We saw Wildcard kind of, you know, they got I can't remember who they beat in OCN, but they got that one win that kind of, you know, sparked a bit of momentum in that team. And I think that's what Order need. They need a spark in their momentum, not only just for OCN, but, you know, for APAC South as well.
It's a very, I would say, topical discussion for us, Dev. The fact that it's been Order that we've always considered to be a team based on momentum, and sometimes in that have brought the inconsistencies. I honestly really hate using that word now. I think that is my most disliked phrase in OCN.
It's accurate.
But it's it's just one of the more obvious kind of ways to label order in particular. Now I do want to get a little bit of insight here in terms of win conditions for order Vars as we look at this. What are we expecting?
I think them wanting to take Overt to Oregon, as I said before, I'm expecting that they would have done a bit of voting, bit of kind of analysis on Overt, because I think Overt have some, we talk about their aggressive playstyle and entries, but I do think that they have a lot of tendencies and habits, and I think Order needed to do a bit of research. Not even research, just if they watched the Knights game, they wouldn't kind of know that, and I think that they need to emphasize shutting down the aggressive entries from Overt. I think as well for Order, they have more experience than Overt, so I think experience should be a big factor today.
Yeah.
We saw Overt come out really strong against Knights, but they failed to really adapt when kind of Knights build momentum. We saw Juicy's Monty play, and I think Juicy brought Monty like 4 or 5 rounds, something crazy, and was just like going off on it, and Overt were just not adapting to it. And I mean, I think in their interview they said that they quote unquote called it throwing, but I call it not really adapting to the situation and what's happening. But I think for Order, the win condition is to really kind of shut down their entries. They do have a lot of habits, so I think that's, for me, is the main win condition for them today.
I do wonder, like you just mentioned the Monty, right? Like it was a pretty pivotal reason of why Knights beat Overt. We saw Order just the other night against Elevate and Apex South. They played the Monty almost every single attack round. So it's also in their repertoire, and they could well play it against Overt now that they've seen how Overt struggle against it. But at the same time, Order just really, really struggled against Elevate. Like they only won 1 round out of 5 on the attack. So I do wonder, like, just because Monty worked when it was Juicy playing it on Knights, doesn't mean it's going to work when it's Nico playing it on Order.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of differences in the way Order were playing the Monty. Not trying to bag on them, but I think the way Knights were playing it was like just absolutely perfectly. Like they were using the Monty for quick map control. They were using it as kind of like a drone. Like they Juicy was kind of calling out positions, and we saw Sajon nading those positions. Juicy was like pushing players into the angles of the rest of his teammates, and they were able to get picks off that. The way Order were kind of using Monty was like, I don't know, it was kind of different like that. There was that one situation that just comes to mind. I can't stop thinking about it in Attic, where they had one of the Elevate players start.
Oh my god.
No. I think the best situation there is like to just not panic, and because Monty, you can really distract the enemy team. You can use it in many ways, and I think just playing to kind of be more of a distraction and let your teammates be the ones that kill them is probably better for roam clearing there. So to answer your question, I don't really, if Order do bring the Monty, I don't think it will have the exact effect unless they've been practicing it.
Yeah.
But I mean, the game was last night, so I don't know how they would have time to practice it. But yeah.
There's a sense as well that, like, to flip that coin on you there and play devil's advocate, there is almost a sense that, like, you'd come into this expecting that Overt is nothing like Elevate, right? But in so many ways, the way that they play is sporadic as Elevate are. And I mean, I just feel like the way that Overt are going right now in OCN is really starting to beg some serious questions, Dev. And I think the question I want to beg is, if we do see Overt come out with another great performance against Order, hell, even take points away from them, if not all 3, do we really start talking about Overt for Stage 3 playoffs? I mean, it's a serious question.
Honestly, maybe. I don't want to get too hyped for them too quickly. I know that they themselves are deliberately having low expectations. When I spoke to Soy after he was MVP, after their game against Rhythm, he said, obviously, like, we want to win every game, but we try and have realistic expectations. That said, like, in the moment, playing that Knights game, like, yeah, they think they can win it. They went 7-5. It was only 2 rounds that could have gone their way, it would have been their win. And the context, though, of the whole league, like Overt, in order to make playoffs, that's top 5, they'd have to leave at least 3 teams behind them. Obviously, beating Rhythm definitely puts them in a strong position to do that. Wildcard, probably likely to be one of those teams that could fall into those bottom spots as well. And honestly, aside from that, it's probably going to be Order or maybe Ruffle, but I think Ruffle's looking a little bit better than Order at the moment, especially considering they beat them. So yeah, look, if Overt win here, then I think we can start talking about maybe there's a chance of them making playoffs. But without this win, honestly, I just don't see it possible for them.
Now, very quickly, just to update everyone at home as to why we're kind of turned this into a podcast and we're waffling a little bit, is of course we're still... we really do. I mean, let's be honest. Actually, to be fair, I can't stand my own voice. Like, anytime I see a clip, I just very quickly put the headphones down and walk away.
Don't you crank up the volume? I've seen it.
No, I really don't. I really don't. I can't tell you how much I don't. But there is one player that we're still waiting on connecting. Don't know who it's for. I'll find out and call them out so we can have a bit of fun with that one. But Vast, I guess we really can kind of... We can talk about where the stage, I keep saying the season, where the stage is at right now. The season obviously will find out the end of this stage where teams lie. But for Order, 2-7-2 results, I mean, I'm just going to call a fish. That's not good enough.
Definitely not, especially I feel like for where they want to be, they need to be winning games against, Ruffle. They need to be winning these games against Overt. I just think it's definitely not good enough for where they want to be, where their expectations are. And I mean, I'm not really sure how the relegation's kind of looking for Order. I don't know exactly kind of where they need to be to kind of avoid relegations, but right now it must be kind of a little bit scary for them. It's got to be on the back of their mind quite a bit.
It certainly has to linger at a certain point. So, you know what, Vast? We got the player back in. Final thoughts before we head into this. What is your prediction?
Even though I may seem like I'm a bit against Order or whatnot, I do think they'll win. I think that I don't know. Call it a feeling. I don't know. Maybe the last 2 days my predictions have been pretty awful, so I don't know what's going on. But I don't know. I kind of have faith in them. I think that the season's not over. They can turn it around. They just need this one win to kind of spark that momentum and turn it around. So I predict Order to win.
Good opportunity for them to kickstart their campaign. Vast, thank you once again for joining us on the desk and giving us your thoughts, actual clear thoughts on how the game plays out, other than me and Dev's waffling. But let's get underway with our second match of Playday 3. God, these days go so quick. It is going to be Order, and it's Overt. One of these teams have 0 wins, and one of these teams is new to the league. I'm pretty sure you can figure out what's what. Dev, underway on Oregon.
Time to stick in Order. They certainly have a lot to prove. Only won 4 rounds so far in Stage 3 of OCN. Oregon has not been a great treat for them either. Of the last 10 times they've played this map, they have only won it twice, and that was against Rhythm and LFO, inarguably the 2 weakest teams that were in OCN at the time. But let's get stuck into it. Elements has got some baby powder. He's just, I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what, is he using it to like get some, is it like talcum powder? Like so he can like get some nice good grip on his mouse and keyboard? I guess so.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I love the quirkiness from these guys. Like you got Bailey with the whole top down kind of still life, vertical thing, webcam view and everything. Man.
Bird's eye. We'll call it bird's eye.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Look at that. The Monty did get banned after all. Nice one from Overt. They clearly did not like facing it when they played against Knights, and they know that it's something in Order's repertoire, so they'd rather just get rid of it.
Probably the best of the decisions. If you're not comfortable, just take it out completely. And look, wherever that leads you, it leads you. We're going to head down to the basement for the first round. It is Overt starting on the defense. We are seeing the Mozzie. Oh, it actually quickly swaps out for a Valk, so we'll wait and see whether they do end up sticking that Mozzie. If they go back there, I feel like we have to expect some sort of a roam with the mute as well. It does go to the clash, though. We have Alibi on Elements. curious to see Line and Finker. Just so much Finker being played.
Yep.
So much Finker.
Yeah, I mean, in Order's game against Elevate, they played Finker every single round. They played the Monty from Nico 4 out of 5 rounds. So clearly the Monty being banned, they're like, hey, let's just bring Line as a substitute. I think it's a good idea. The only real concern I would have here for Order is they don't have a lot to try and deal with this clash. Mainly you'd be banking on the flashes. 9 flashes is a lot, but you have to be quite effective at clearing those out.
HP Omen community vote has Order at 59%, and I think that is actually one of the more relative votes I've ever seen. There is a good chance that Overt push them here, but in all honesty, we do expect Order to be comfortable in this one, to be able to take this out. And I mean, if they don't, real questions then get asked. Real questions that I think might make some uncomfortable. But let's see how Overt decide to start this one out. Already, the Lion roars.
Looks like it might be Order getting in, getting busy. 4 out of 5 players making their way in from small tower. Surely there are some pre-placed drones to assist this. They are doing their best to take swift map control. Jack Daddy was the one holding the drones at the start of the round there. Order looking to take full map before worrying at all about this execute.
Repulsion device planted.
Now, it's always important to start off on the right foot. Usually doesn't dictate an entire match, but for a team like Order, getting off and running might be exactly what the doctor ordered. I like the use of Twent on that clash, just acting as a movable, see-through deployable shield, if you will, for Cairo. They fall back now as Order continue to expand their control on that first floor.
Good start here for Order. Nothing too crazy. Map control, pretty similar speed to what we were seeing from Knights earlier today. But I think the kicker is going to be in the conversion. Starting to actually set up for that execute. Deciding what they're going to go for. Currently positioned for a front take, which I think is good.
Yep.
Difficult with that clash playing there, but the clash can always rotate. You can see blue extension, a lot of shields present from Overt. Now they could always have a player bring that shield back and move it to a different position to prevent this front push. But at the moment, it doesn't look like Overt have necessarily repositioned to be ready for this front attack. So if Order are quick here, they might be able to make something work.
Flashbang is out.
Come flashes, but Overt not around to receive them just yet. Spec are spearheading the attack. There's a free kill. We spotted out, but it won't make a difference because now Overt are fighting 2 men down. It's Elements that's on the ground. And this round is running away. Oh, God.
Just look at them lining up together. The trade comes through. Specker low on HP, but he can close the last one. Order, a beautiful read. Take the first round against Overt.
Such a convincing round, Dev. That is such a convincing round that we've seen from Oda? From Order. Overt, let the ball slip a little bit there. Important that they dust off the boots, back on the saddle, and we head to kids' dorms, where more success is very much needed to prove to us that they are going to be able to compete at this level with Order. And likewise for Order, consistency. It is time to see what they can truly do, but it's also time to take a small minute to talk about mental health. Livin, once again, coming on as a fantastic supporter and sponsor for Oceanic Nationals. We're very lucky to have them on. They're here to break the stigma around mental health. It ain't weak to speak, and you can go ahead and support them by buying some of their incredible merch that we like to rep all the damn time. It's exclamation mark LIVIN in chat. Go ahead and check out their online store where you can grab their latest range of clothing. If you do want a cheeky little discount, don't forget OCN 15 checkout.
That's 15% off.
Bang.
I will say their stuff is very, very comfortable. I don't know what it is. It's got some kind of like elasticity to it, the t-shirts. They're really, really nice. It just fits so good. In fact, wear it so often that when it comes around to these OCN play days, it's always in the wash.
They are comfortable. They're very comfortable t-shirts. There's no denying that. And Order would be feeling pretty comfortable themselves, Dev, because if you start like that, it really does put you in good stead. Now, we do have to be careful about really how much we lean into that. Saw Knight start off 3-0, absolutely obliterating Wildcard in that first matchup. Very quickly, Wildcard found their way back into it, drew 3-3. So you don't want to breathe. You don't want to breathe? You don't want to hold your breath, I should say. And just like that, it's Bailey to take down Elements.
Yeah, I mean, this is an excellent start for Order. They're just really looking in their element, no pun intended. So they start to clear out this roamer. First one down. Ooh, it does need to be careful though. Oh, it looks like they know about where Cairo is. Oh no, Speckle was just opening up the angle. As soon as that E1D is ready, Nico may well pop it so they can pinch this roamer in meeting. They're such a good position, Order to take Cairo down. They need to make sure not to give him a 1v1 gunfight because he's the kind of player that would often win them. Really good position though from Nico. Cairo's just going to wait for him.
Twent as well is actually up in attic. I think he's supporting him from that meeting hatch. There you go. So Cairo's well and truly comfortable knowing that his back is being watched and Order. You're going to be careful not to spend too much time here and also not to just send it in, which it looks like Bailey's about to do. Can Twent support him?
Yes.
Hook, line, and sinker. That's what you want to see if you're an Overt fan.
Really well played there. Cairo just staying, not letting himself overexpose. And now Order are actually going to peel back. Specker, though, watching this flank, almost gets Cairo on the repeat.
Oh, wow.
The balls of this player. And now Order only have one guy left. It's Jack out on double window. They know exactly where he is. What a play from Overt. Cairo went huge, supported by Twent. And Cairo polishes it off as well. My God. Put to bed.
Yep. It's the Prime Possum coming back out, Dev. Haven't seen him for many a moons. It's 8:30 on the dot pretty much, and it's time to go to sleepy boys. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's 7:30 that the Prime Possum used to come out, wasn't it?
Fuck if I know.
Don't remember? Prime Possum?
No.
Prime Possum used to visit you on the TV. You don't remember?
It's just like some kids' TV show, was it?
No, it was... How old are you?
I don't feel comfortable disclosing that information at this
Fair
point in
enough.
time.
Not gonna dox yourself. That's okay.
I just don't want to get roasted by you. I mean, don't
No,
mind people knowing
I'm just...
I'm 23. Is that too young to know this reference?
No, I don't think so. I feel like you would have to... Anyway, you know what? I've gone down the rabbit hole. Trying to find the bloody possum. That's what's happened.
Yeah, I had something to say, so I'll go. You know, Cairo, that insane man who just got that nutty 3K, played so well in meeting, baited for his teammate. Did you know he is currently the world record holder in multiple of the Rainbow Six situations for speedrunning?
Yeah.
He's a bit of a god. He recently, just a couple weeks back, when we had the Samsung Speedrun Challenge for the end of Stage 2 playoffs, he won the Samsung SSD that we gave away because he broke the bloody world record for the fastest completion time in recorded history of Situations 1. He also went on to go and complete several other situations, so look, if you want to give him a run for your money, go see if you can get to practice, but good luck with that.
Yeah. I know Guz is sitting there seething.
Yeah, I mean, he took a bunch of Guz's speedrun world records away.
Terrible.
Yeah,
Guz is terrible. He only did it for the clout back in the day, and then he just never went back to it. He got his little piece of clout and walked away from it. So can you blame him? Can you blame him? Terrible player though. Not Cairo, of course. Absolutely sharp as nails, and last round proves it well and truly. Cairo can sit up in meeting for as long as he so pleases. He's got the ability to fall away in an instant. But the problem is, Order can pursue if they wish to do so. It's just going to get a little bit tricky, and it just depends on how long he's really going to stick around. It looks like he's going to go for the hard gunfight. He still keeps peeking. Cairo, you're nasty.
Doesn't give a damn that he's low HP, but the Lion roars, locks him in place. Order really struggling to deliver that fatal blow. If they had one in T2 right now, this would be such an easy kill through the wall, but this extended hold by Overt is proving to be very difficult to deal with by Order. Now they start to get this map control, start to get above, putting the pressure into Attic, and Nade's gonna come through, and Cairo falls off. That could have been a freebie for Order, but that's half the round wasted. Still no kill either way.
So well played from Cairo. Wastes that entire half of the round, and also 2 or 3 drones with him. Order now only have 5 on the board that they can use, and I mean, I'd be absolutely cheering if that was my teammate. Specker, knowing he's going to be so cautious of the player in kitchen right now. Elements just creeping closer and closer. Won't be able to make past the air jab, so it's not really going to make a difference, but he might just be able to find the peak. Specker,
oh
he was already holding the line. How does he win that?
Elements is cracked. We've seen so many players from Overt step up massively. The res comes through, but Nate goes down. And the aggression is responded upon. My God, back and forth. Order, 1 man down.
So we are still going to be able to hold that elbow for at least another 5 seconds with that Smoke Babe supporting. He's not going to fall away just yet. They've still got that reinforcement should he decide to fall back and reinforce elbow, making sure that Order cannot pursue. Instead, he decides to stick to his guns. They've got to be careful. They've pushed through Electric here, Dev. They're going to go ahead and try to force the fight, but Sawyer holds strong and Element supports. Overt, a convincing round.
Love that basement strategy from Overt with that extended roam, and they played into it perfectly as well. Cairo backed on off as soon as he thought that he'd wasted enough time. Overstayed his welcome. And then Elements, of course, flanking in kitchen. Despite that Order pick, or rather the Nomad pick that Order have stuck every single round, he's still able to flank, still able to find a kill. And the hold on site, despite the explosivity from Order, was still enough to prevent the push.
Expect them to be able to adapt on the fly, maybe a little bit better. Regardless, we move forward for Overt, and it's looking pretty good. I mean, I've got to be honest, it's not like these are cheese rounds, Dev. And I think it's been the common theme from, you know, Knights to Rhythm last week and now moving on to Order. We're actually seeing some really clinical play come out from Overt, and I, for one, am very happy to see that. It's great to see a team that can really push the limits of what we would expect, and I think all discussions aside of what we expected from them and, you know, coming into, you know, I think a lot of people would call it like a honeymoon period. You step into Tier 1 ANZ Siege and you're coming up against teams like Knights and Order and you're competing well. I think that this is no fluke. They are genuinely showing us what they're worth. I'm excited for 2022 for this roster.
Definitely. Order, or rather, Overt have really shown themselves to be a driving force, shown themselves to be a mainstay, and I think that performances that we've seen so far against Knights, against Rhythm, and now against Order, and here we go. Pawn Peak run out from Edpan onto Specker. I mean, it's got to be a tilter.
Oh, how frustrating that would be. Haven't even talked about Edpan's selection here either. I'm sure that's going to be quite spicy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good gun, the T5 SMG, and when you've got the 1.5 on it, that scope that you don't usually get on Legion, the ability to jump up through hatches.
A bomb has been located.
Really, there's a lot of hatches you can use and abuse that on, plus the proximity alarms. But here we go from Order, bit of aggression. Really trying to put some pressure here, Nico, in the kitchen hallway, but just on the other side is Twen. A lot of map control still retained by Overt.
God, there was a half a second where Twent went to peek down the kitchen corridor, but just didn't peek far enough to the left. Nico was pretty much caught with his pants down. Will it happen again? Got to be so careful. This time it's Twent on the receiving end. And he wins the 1v1. Cairo coming up on the flank as well. There's action left, right, and center. It's Twent that peeks from the kitchen corridor and says, good night. Order left scrambling.
Yeah, I love that aggression from Twent. The way he just read that situation, manhandled Order. The ADS is going to make this difficult. Now, nice, finally shutting him down, but Sawyer's still up the trophy, and Order are in shambles. They really have struggled to deal with this hold. Now, it's all on Bailey. Been a hot player here in OCN 2021, but I mean, we've seen 1v5 tonight. Maybe we could see a 1v4.
Stranger things have happened. Bailey starts to take a little bit of space here, but I don't think it matters how much space he's going to take. Unless Overt give him one-on-ones like that. He's still going to pick the diffuser up, tries to swing onto Cairo. Not a bad effort, all things considered, but Overt, another really nice round from them. 3 in a row, and Order. I mean, really big questions are going to be asked if Overt continue this pace.
Believe that's a tactical pause there as well. Order certainly need it right now. 3-1 deficit. We can confirm Derpe has called the tactical timeout. I mean, what have they got to be discussing right now? Because they have been in shambles. They're letting Overt walk all over them.
Oh God, speak of the devil and he shall appear. Finally, Guz listens to the crap that's talked about him. Well, you know, it's only fair. He just, you know, not to say that Guz is a rat or anything, but you know, he dwells in the sewers until it's time to pop his head back up, so I can liken it quite a lot here. However, I am really, really overly happy about this from Overt, and by what we're seeing from Order, and it kind of looks like it as well. I'm sure, you know, they're kind of got a clear head right now, but oh boy, is Jack Daddy alive?
Looks like he must be frozen. I think he froze while he was scratching the back of his head. Man, it's certainly been a struggle for Order this game. Overt have been bringing the fire. You can see no one talking right now. You can only assume that Derp, their coach, is giving them a bit of his piece of his mind. Yeah. I mean, they don't look very happy, do they? Nico always manages to have a bit of a smile in his dial and a swag in his step, so I respect that, but I mean, it's going to be a difficult one here. You can see Specker's fiddling as well. He was spamming the lock and unlock button on his operator there. I mean, the nerves certainly settling in for Order, and I would be too if I were 2 rounds down against Overt.
We go back to Dorms. Dev Mata. Order need to tidy whatever is going on up. I'm not even going to make a speculation right now, but you know, 4-2 salvageable. There's no doubt about it, but 5-1 is very concerning, and it still could finish 3 apiece. That is, I guess, the promising sign for Order. But the fact that Overt can go back to literally 1 of or 2 of any of their sites that they so please, bit scary. They see Dorms, and then it's their choice. Do they repeat it, or do they go back to the basement? It's all up to them.
I mean, I do have a lot of confidence here in Overt. Surely this should be theirs. This round, one that they won previously, thanks to great roaming from Cairo and Meeting. It's really Order that we need to look at, an Order that we're waiting for to step up. Start acting like the team that we know they can be.
In Order sweeping across the west. Bit by bit, just being quite cautious. Specker being overly cautious, ensuring that there's no runouts, no cheeky thought from Overt to do anything that's they're not prepared for. And, oh, God, talking about being unprepared, how would you ever expect Elements to be just jiggling this consistently? Looks like they've got information. Can't find the kill, but at the very least, that will make Order incredibly uneasy.
They retreat back from Elements. Overt just waiting patiently, but it's Order we need to be watching here to see how they start to make some progress. They're looking to get this downstairs clear working. They're very heavily stacked here, a lot of players. Now, they could pop the Adrenal Surge from Thinker and start to move up those stairs. They would walk through the barbed wire very quickly. But surely they need to mount a more substantial push here. A lot of players still outside. They've got one guy rotating to big window. Spec is going games window. 2 big window. What is the play? It looks like Order are trying to set up for something.
Time will tell on that one. 3 drones left in the field and 1 in the pockets.
Oh, no.
Nate gets obliterated and Ed will finish him off. Not a chance to pick him back up in that scenario. Adrenal Surge only seconds away from being able to be used in that instance, but Jack Daddy trying to put some pressure on. It's all starting to... the audio cues are starting to pop here, but Overt are remaining cool and calm as ever.
Yeah, and the gases from Twent just so perfect. Locked off top white, locked off the big window. Here comes the execute, though, as Nico goes on fourth. Bailey as well. He does find that pick. Now there's one in Kids as well he's got to deal with as Twent feels this pressure. He can take... he can't do the damage he needs onto Jack. And now this is looking very, very difficult for Overt, but Elements coming up the stairs, whiffs every shot. Oh my God, the fire, it burns! And Becker finds the double, Bailey to close it. Order on the back of quite the impressive set piece get their second round.
God, there were so many opportunities there for Overt to shut that down. I mean, Twent had the opportunity to find that kill, secure that kill on the player running through from double window, who, by the way, had kit on the backside. Obviously, a little bit hard when you're trying to use the SMG-11 to spray through a wall. It's just, the damage is just not going to be enough, but that is a crucial kill. Elements, I believe it was, coming back on the white stairs, had the opportunity to kill the kid in double, and Spec is allowed to find a double kill from the window. It really was a round of whiffs, and Order have been given a, I don't want to say lifeline, but they have been given a lifeline in this half.
Yeah, look, I mean, it was a weird execute. I kind of admire the idea there from Order. I didn't think they'd set up for it as well as they could have, but I mean, they were kind of given, like you said, a little bit of a lifeline. The fact that Overt had a couple of players with shots there. Definitely, when Jack Daddy jumped in the window and Twent was unable to secure that, that certainly helped Order. If Jack had gone down then there's no plant hitting the floor. Also, the flank upstairs from Elements is pretty abysmal, but hey, I don't think Overt can kick themselves too much. They now have Laundry unlocked. They can go back there. Thing is, they did lose the Laundry defense the first time they went for it. On the back of just not paying enough attention to the rush from Order. I think Order are really keen to try and go for rushes, go for these set pieces. And I think it's the right play. It does seem to be working against Overt more often than not.
Oh, Jack Daddy. There's your banking account opened. And Pan, no response here. 6th round. One that I'm sure Overt will not want to see fall in the hands of Order. And so far, so good. Making pretty decent time as well. It's the attacking side starting to flush Elements out of position, but he can sit here for quite some time.
So
and just
safe.
bait. Yeah.
Shoot drone,
Love
prop
that.
hatch. There you go.
Yeah.
I love the way that Overt play with all the hatches open. So they like to play really aggressively, take early gunfights, shoot a lot of drones, and then back off. Now, it's a big risk, right? Because if you start losing these fights, oh no, surely Cairo dies here, expecting to cut him off really easily, but no. Cairo's even watching this angle. My God, if he finds one here, that'd be pretty gutting. But now Order do have control of meeting. Confirm that with the drone. They can start to move forward. Now a 5v3 advantage.
And this is where Overt are going to have to try and play something aggressive. You can see Cairo trying to look straight up the meeting hatch, but he's not going to be given anything just yet. You need to try and find a pick. I don't think you can afford an anchor on site in a 3v5 where Order can just pick you to pieces. And unfortunately for Overt, they try to play aggressive. They try to get something done, and they just line up for Nate. A flawless round to close things out in the 3-3 half.
Quite the redemption for Order from 3-1 to 3-3. They make that half bit dirty, but it does get the job done.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
And that's really all that counts. If you, provided you can bring things back, it really, honestly, doesn't matter how good your siege looks or how good we think it looks, which I guess is really where our opinions lie. It honestly doesn't matter when you manage to pull rounds back. When you go from a 3-1 deficit, bring it back 3 apiece, or what other, bloody hell, what other regions even think of your playstyle doesn't make a difference when the result shows that you can get it done. And right now for Order, in a very decent position to close things out here. And we look to Overt on their attack to maybe change things up.
Locate a bomb and defuse it.
Definitely going to be needing some momentum from Overt. I like some of these aggressive picks they're going for. Off meta, Nick and Thinker. Hard to call Thinker off meta these days though. We're seeing her frequent
Not anymore.
so often. Especially, you know, every round just now from Order, for example.
Yep.
I like the pick. And I was asking Vask, he said it's mostly just the heal. If you've been a bit lit up, you could get that heal, kind of like we're seeing Thunderbird, right? I feel like most gunfights are dictated by headshots, so I don't know how much of a big deal it is, but I mean, you got nades, you got a great gun, you got the Gon 6. The recoil buff can be nice if you're prepared for it as well. So,
yep.
Yeah,
I guess that's the thing. If you are consistently playing with Finky, you do become accustomed to it. And in the meta that we're in right now, where it is so heavy on 1v1s, on their gunfights, on your mechanical skills, it literally can make the difference in a fight. Like you said, the heal kind of gives you that, maybe that extra shot, maybe even 2 bullets extra is required to take you down. And in that time, with the recoil spray, the recoil help, I don't know how to say it there. It's not a hindrance, that's for damn sure. It makes things just so much more difficult in those one-on-ones. And I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of seeing it played. As long as it's getting rounds on the board, it doesn't make a difference. And I guess right now, we'll see to what effect it has for Overt as we start to progress down to half the round left.
Nice cheeky play from Cairo. Pushing up into dining now. So usually Roma's playing in kitchen, so he might be exposed to that. He can get to bot white. He might be able to punish Specker. The hell presence reduction does muffle some of the sounds of your footprints, as well as making you immune, or invisible rather, on cameras.
Attackers have located a
So
bomb.
he's the perfect operator to try and sneak, find a pick onto Specker, who's still playing aggressively at the bottom of white stairs.
Very slow and steady for Overt here, and you feel like they're really starting to test in terms of utility, which it looks like they have. Smoke Babes out of the hands of Nate. Oh my god, it's Nico and Bailey to hold strong. Bailey giving them a handicap. What on earth is this round? Bailey left in a 1v2 to claim back something. What?
Well, he has more health than the remaining 2 players, that's for sure. Oh, this C4! Sawyer survives! Cairo gets the winning kill. My god, Overt. It's a mess, but it's a win.
I mean, we came into that round quite literally saying it doesn't matter how clean it is. If you're winning the round, you're winning the damn round. And we can sit there and talk all we want. We really can. Everyone at home can talk all they want, but it's the rounds on the board that matter. Now, we've got a technical pause coming up. Wasn't sure who called it or what it's been called for. There we go. That makes things a lot more clearer. It is Nate that has disconnected for whatever reason. But it will give Order the opportunity to come back into this with a bit of a fresh start, no doubt about it, as they will be headed down to the basement by the looks of things.
Taking a bit of a bathroom break, we see the players. Don't blame them.
Maybe we take one.
Yeah, I mean, can I take my microphone into the bathroom? Or...
Oh, God, no. Oh, absolutely not. That is not a thing that's going to happen.
All right, Cairo's back. Locked and loaded, ready to go. Having a pretty good game so far. Love seeing all these young players really get to shine here in OCN. Cairo's definitely one of them. And there you go, stay hydrated, kids. That is one monstrous drink bottle.
It's huge. I guess in a game where you're, sweating it out a little bit, it's probably not a bad idea to have a big old drink bottle nearby. Blue headset. I don't think I've ever seen anything so blue.
Bright
blue everywhere.
Yeah, I love it. I think this is Twent's PC we're watching right now. Riveting stuff.
Fantastic.
There he is.
Oh,
Oh, look at him.
Flick.
Flick of the hair. Oh, gotta fix that up. Get ready to go.
Kind of doesn't look like he's got a oh God, I don't even know what to say anymore. A Duna cover over his Duna. There we go.
Yeah, no,
got
it
there
just
in the
looks
end.
like he's got the Duna. Hasn't made his bed.
Come on, mate.
Each
Come
their
on,
own.
mate. It's OCN day. This is the day you make your damn bed. But here we go.
Water can.
And
Oh, he's got Tom
cursed.
Clancy's book. See,
Yeah, he's
that's
using
what
it
his
as a mic
mic's sitting on.
stand.
I'm guessing that's actually the Rainbow Six book. I can just see it says Tom Clancy. That's
he's got a
sick.
candle burning next to him.
Oh,
My man's set for the night. He's going to finish, take the mic off, and just have a good old read in the candlelight. I tell you what, smack
What a
bang
legend.
on.
We were talking before about some players, play in darkness, some, with lots of lights on. Bailey, he plays by candlelight. I mean, he just has such a love of the game. It's a romantic candlelit dinner.
He's old-fashioned. He's old-fashioned. That is a fantastic cam. I just feel like there's nothing behind Nico. I feel like he's in a massive room. It's just him
I
and
feel
his
like
PC.
he's on the fifth floor of like a building, ready to get the sniper rifle out and look out on the...
Jesus. That turned quickly.
Be the bodyguard watching. I don't know. Just get that vibe. He's got the beanie for it as well. Stone Cold Killer.
Well, he decided to one-up me and Guz shaving the head. Speaking of bloody villains, Specker with this beanie. I don't know. I can't remember who it was that sent it to me. I think maybe it was Blue Panda. It was a photoshopped. It was a photoshopped version of Specker's head on top of the Home Alone. Was that Home Alone guys? Yeah, the robbers in Home Alone. You know the.
I don't know.
Oh God, I can't remember his name now. Yeah, Murph, that's it. That's it. It's just Specker's head on top. And, with that dirty mustache he rocks as well, it just... I would not want to see him peering through my window, I'll tell you that much.
Hey, do you want to play a game? It's called Guess What Bachelor's Degree or Certificate that is that Jack's got on the wall there.
The hunk of spunk degree? I don't know. I don't know
Bachelor
what
of being
honestly,
an absolute hunk.
That's it. I don't know anything to do with the university, honestly. I know that wouldn't surprise many at home.
There you go. He went to the Rainbow Six University, got his master's, currently working on his PhD in advanced Hibana pellet usage.
Well, he had to after the crypto crash, didn't he?
I do wonder how his portfolio is going. He was absolutely...
He's flexing.
He was stonks, mate. Flexing
My
his
man
stonks.
he was honestly flexing all over me. I felt really bad.
Actually
Elements.
insane.
Hello. What's going on?
Oh, that's a huge play right there. Good old 6-pick, Ash to Ash.
Attackers need to locate
They'll
and defuse
never
as many
pick it.
bombs as they can.
God damn it. I got so excited for a second then.
What did he
Anytime
tease
I
out?
see. Hey?
What did he tease out before going
Amaru.
Ash?
Amaru.
Amaru, right, yeah.
The old Yeetus McCletus.
Yep. But hey, you know something else we've been working on? Is we've got North Lane on board for the official OCN song. You might have heard it Clockwork in the intro. You can head to the North Lane store, grab some merch for 10% off. Use code OCN.
North Lane running out of time, that's for sure, Dev.
Yeah. Do it while you still can. How cool is it that we've got an actual Aussie metal band doing our song?
It is a banger. I was saying this to you and Vast as we were watching the bumper to come in. It is absolutely it is a banger of a video, especially when you look at the montage of all the clips. It is a primo, I tell you what. Hype.
But now, after that technical pause, we're back in the server and ready to play. Order on the behind, yet to find a win in OCN, losing 7-2 to Rufflecopter and Wildcard. Now, they've finally broken the 7-2 curse, finding 3 rounds so far. Good end to their attack half. On defense, they haven't found the greatest start.
May as well try Specker. Never know. You never know. Do you say definitely?
I said good effort. I mean, he heard the breaching charge be deployed on the floor. It's a really common angle to flank watch that one, so he was just trying to pre-fire, find the breaching charge, couldn't get it. Like this aggression from Jack, he's just looking to shoot a drone. Specker gets it. Nade goes over. They fall back though as the adrenal surge goes through. And we see Overt full map control and starting to set up the execute. I'm curious, is it going to be a front side laundry freezer or is it going to be rear? I feel like almost all teams these days are going for the front executes, not looking to contest Lou at all. It seems like it's the case once again.
Which is crazy when you think about like the meta of stage 2 was,
totally
and stage 1 was a lot of, it was a lot of blue pushes, right? A lot of pillar. Like it's cool to see a completely different take on it. And now what I think is really interesting is it does give you the ability to put pressure, and show face anywhere. And you almost have to face check it. And right now, look at this from Overt. Starting to put a bit of their cookies toward the pillar side. Rear stage now taking a little bit of precedence here for the attacking side.
Just got to push everywhere, especially the way the Order have Rio'd this up. Order are one of those few teams that loves to double Rio Freezer, also have an Electric Claw on it, so very difficult for Overt to leverage that position very much. Kyro's doing his best, needs to stay out of the gas, and my god! Order just come to life! Kyro finds one, going deep for the second now. Suppressor, but he falls down, and Order collapse.
Yeah, it is honestly so hard to know who's going to make first contact, where that contact's going to come from, where the kills are going to be, because it's, especially when you have all hatches open, you can see players literally left, right, and center. It's just so chaotic, and Order have always thrived in that kind of chaos, which is particularly funny, bit of an oxymoron almost, Order, but there is a sense that this new playstyle that we've seen from Order with this cool, calm, and collected approach that I just have to assume has been a large portion due to Derpe is going to mix incredibly well when we see them bring the aggression as well. I think that's where their playstyle is going to differ, and it's going to be kind of terrifying in a sense. What happens when, they are mixing it more and more often. Not to say that was happening in that round in particular, but boy oh boy, does it just finish so quickly.
Yeah. I mean, definitely Order is one of those teams that we're kind of always waiting to see, like, when will they improve? When will they get better? When will they level up to that next step? Unfortunately, we might see a good round from the hero there, especially on their defense. Seems they tend to have a little bit more traction, but their attack, definitely lacking quite a lot. Fortunately, they are now on the defense. They're now even again. Laundry locked out. They'll retry Dorms. We saw the 6 pick from Elements Ash onto Amaru. I wonder where his intention is and whether this is a set piece rush together. Oh, might actually have been spotted. Nico went for a spawn peek. Might be able to call that there's an Amaru on the cards, and Order will be extra ready.
Four players down on that first floor as per. I don't think you're ever really going to see any defensive team not put some kind of presence in towards security or kitchen. Some people more so than others. And we saw that, with Overt, they were more than happy to kind of play a very, very heavy, at least one player that was playing a very heavy roam game, just consistently burning through time. We'll see how they look to approach this. Seems as though, at the very least, getting that attic wall open, then moving from there, it does give you so much more of an avenue, and it kind of keeps Order on their toes to an extent. You never want to let them get settled.
Elements is going to Amaru into Kid's window, but the rest of the team needs to set up first. What's the play? Cairo big window. Oh, is he just going to do it? Surely this is timed with something else. Surely other players on the team are making something work. Overt have 2 players coming through attic. Okay, here we go. It's the attic rush. Elements in through the window, takes down Nate on drone, and Overt have it. They have the rush, but Jack Daddy on for the retake. Finds the attic control once again, and now Elements caught between a rock and a hard place. Twent goes hard, but he doesn't go fast enough. Jack Daddy gets a little greedy. He might be able to ace up here, but not gonna happen. Overt, what a rush.
That's cheeky. That is very cheeky. Jack Daddy is the only player that gives them a lifeline in there. Swings onto the players in attic and gets both kills, and then unfortunately tries to handicap his team even further by finding a kill of his own on his own teammate. Bit of a double agent move, but at the end of the day, that's really gorgeous from Overt. Fortunate enough that they catch the mute, or the smoke I believe it was, back in Kids, just kind of sitting watching the cams as you'd expect. Absolutely glorious and gorgeous performance. And now it looks like Order are going to reattempt, knowing that you can't, there's no way you can do that twice in a row. So
yeah, that doesn't work as long as, I believe it was Bailey, whoever was playing in Kids Dorms, as long as they are not on camps, it's a win. And you can see Order are actually looking for additional ways they can prevent the rush. For example, the Frost Mat. 2 on the double window. 1 on the attic window would also be nice. That is where the jump in tends to be. The Gone 6 from Ed10 enabled that.
10 seconds left before insertion.
now this is a telling tale for Order. Can't let this round slip. Not with Overt. Not when Overt playing the way that they have throughout Playday 1 and Playday 2. At the very least, they've doubled their round wins. I guess that's something positive to take away from Playday 3, Dev.
But hey, they can't let any round slip from here, Order, if they are to take the full 3 points. Order are a team that have consistently Stage 1 and Stage 2 made playoffs, but Stage 3 could be the exception if they can't mount enough points. They've already lost to Rufflecopter and Wildcard, the 2 teams that they have consistently been above. If they lose to Overt as well, Order is well on their way to being a bottom 2 team for Stage 3, failing to make playoffs.
Be a big oof. Cairo leading the charge from this west side push through Showers corridor. Specker's going to hold that line so firmly. Could hear a ping come out for Order. Where is that going to be showing them? What information is that giving? It looks like they're getting the indication that Sawyer is starting to go to town over toward... Oh, no! No!
Pain.
Oh, that's so unlucky. Mandy's done him so dirty there.
So what happened there, he was trying to get the exodermic on the floor because then the explosive radius can actually make a breach on the reinforced wall despite the claw. But the problem is he put it slightly too close to the wall, and the electrification actually has its own area of effect, and that just managed to catch the exothermic charge. Bit unlucky there. He's going to have to clear off the Kaid Claw if he is to breach that wall.
Feels bad. That's a massive feels bad. Regardless.
Oh, it's going again.
Hey.
Come on.
There we go. Got a little bit more, more success this time's around. Lovely.
So it's not much.
No.
Just a couple of low holes. Jack Daddy's going to be watching them eagerly. Not a huge threat though, those holes. Ooh, that nade will do a bit of damage to Nico. Backs on off and dodges it. Overt don't really have a great entry here.
This might have to come down to some individual mechanical skills, and Twent is the first to go down. That's the kid as well. Order starting to run away with the round. Sawyer and Cairo all that remain with 20 seconds left. Cairo's been spotted, Sawyer's position known, and it's only a matter of time before they do fall to their death. Sawyer might find himself a cheeky one, that he has, but he doesn't know that he's been down. There we go, he'll confirm it, but it won't make a difference because Bailey's going to do Bailey things and close out the round. Order, that was pretty clean.
Certainly was. We're guaranteed full regulation here as we head into round 11. Break point. Both teams on 5 rounds. The next team to find a round will guarantee overtime. Minimum 1 point. And guarantee their opportunity to close it in regulation. If you lose here, no more 3 points. Good round from Order though. Overt really lacked some strength in that push. I think they needed to go and actually try and remove the Electric Claw and get a proper breach open instead of doing the floor trick. They actually lost a player trying to pick those holes. And while we had some good entries, it just didn't have enough force to be able to crack open that very difficult to break site. But now Order go back downstairs. We've seen this successfully defended the one and only time that they've played it. Nas puts the pressure squarely on Overt. This could well be Order match point.
God, how's the opening 2 games of the night? Dev, both on Oregon, both forced to the full distance of regulation with the potential to go more. So this is what we love to see. Teams pushing each other to their limits. Overt, they're showing good signs, but this is the kind of experience that you want to be seeing from Order, especially in that kind of a round, when you know that you can take advantage of the fact that Overt just haven't done enough. You really can just sit back and play a lot more passive and wait for them to make those mistakes after already making so many themselves. Overt, round 11, quite crucial.
It is, and I'm a little bit worried for them, honestly, Rob. Okay, that definitely will not help. Nico, that must have been a sound call, but what an excellent C4 he just found. All the way up onto the master floor. That's Elements going down. Had a bit of a rough game. I think Overt are going to go for a front take once again, which I'm a bit concerned for. It looks like they haven't actually done a full roam clear either, so this is going to be very, very difficult. They've not got a lot to work with. I kind of wish that they just brought Flores instead of the Yana, or instead of the Ash, and just went for a blue take. You can bypass so much of the utility there if you just got a Flores, but no, they're really insistent going for this front take. And, well, 1 man down, it's going to be very, very difficult to do so, especially considering there's no breach on Frieza and the Kaid is in play.
Yep. So much utility on site for Order to play around. Both Vulcan shields. Magnets left, right, and center. Like you said, Electric Claw, it really does not bode favorably whatsoever.
These are some good holes, though, exposing the position of bricks, but they can easily be shot from inside. Bailey doesn't manage to shoot them off in time, though, and that's going to force Specker and Jack Daddy back a little bit. Once again, Overt are making a lot of progress should they go through a rear stage and blue push, but they're still committing to this front side. Twent might actually go blue here. It'd be really difficult, though, because of Nate playing with so much utility here as well, and the crossfire as well from Jack Daddy at bricks. Overt are kind of trying to commit to everything, and it's going to make it really hard to actually mount a push.
This is a really interesting hold from Nate. Generally, it's the left-hand side of the wall that's generally the one that's reinforced with a shield to kind of play around and support yourself. But instead, I mean, he's going to be able to swing and play behind the deployable shield that's actually on site, stopping the freezer player from really doing any damage.
The drop is not going to bode well. Jack Daddy uses the angles against Overt. He's going to try and dodge the nade. And he is taken down. Specker holds on, but Overt, they're trying their hardest. It's only on Twent now. He makes it a 1v1, Rob.
Bailey, he's got the exact positioning he'd want. Kit is down in laundry, so it's all up to Twent. He's going to have to swing this. 10 seconds left. Time is starting to run thin. Bailey's now being spotted. Twent goes for the push. He has to go for the kill now. 11 bullets stuck in the chamber. Twent now plays Bailey. And that is a huge round. Map point to Overt.
Twent, the newest member of the team, steps up and Overt get animated. They have match point over order. They've done the unthinkable. Coming into OCN, low expectations, and they have made this game their own.
So well played from Twent there. Bailey thought that he had the right positioning, felt like it was going to come from Electric, but the double back is essentially what pays off. How good is the double-edged sword there in Electric? Open up those lines of sight to flush the player out of the corridor, and instead it's used as a double whammy from Harry Potter.
Twent had
Honestly, just massive div.
He 1v2. He had almost no bullets left in the bearing. You got to assume that he was all out of ammo in the Type 89 as well, which is why he was using that SMG. My God. That thing has a heck of a lot of recoil as well. A lot of players too scared to use it. Go for the pistol instead. I mean, he's very thankful that he had that SMG just then, and he made it light work of that 1v2. Order now really, really reaching. Match point against them. The full 3-point game is, well, all but a dream now. They're going to have to push for an overtime win, get the 2 points. But, I mean, this is where it really hits home, Rob. Order lost 7-2 to Rafflecopter. 7-2 to Wildcard. Both teams that Order have consistently been above in the standings. And, well, I mean, that already spells doom for them. Order, if they lose here, if they don't get a single point, they may well be destined for the bottom of the OCN standings. They'd be hoping to God that they can beat Rhythm. Otherwise, man, they would be incredibly disappointed in themselves.
Likewise, on the other side of the table, Rhythm haven't had the worst start. They went 7-5 against Bliss, sorry, losing 7-5 against Overt, but both of them were tight games. Both of them were close, and the Order are putting up a fight right now and can push this to overtime, but goodness me, storyline is not that great for them, as you're saying. Overt is now looking to take the contact.
Bit of aggression here from Order. Overt are ready to meet it. 5 players now on site. Order just have some early presence and then fall back. Overt pretty satisfied with the map control they've managed to gain.
Well, they've got that first floor for free now. Thought of a flank coming. Oh, timing on that from Elements. There was a thought to attempt maybe to flank back up the rear stairs, but at the very least showing face, putting the body there, it makes them recheck it. Overt are nicely split and separated to try and isolate some of these fights and force Order into uncomfortable situations that they don't want to find themselves in. Surely not. Oh, that's gorgeous.
Really liking the Flores pick here. Kind of mentioned it last round. But the main thing that Overt have lacked to go for this blue push is just something to clear out all the util in blue and clear out Nate's position. Now with that Flores, I think they've got exactly what they need. They can also take down the Brick's shield. They are mounting up for a blue push. We haven't once seen them do this strategy in this game. They're doing it, pulling it out on match point on the last round.
5v5 with 45 seconds left. 4 drones left for flashes in the pocket to Order's 2 C4s. And no smoke baits. That's a huge point to make right now. They can't deny any of those plans, but I don't think they're going to try to. This is going to come down to raw gunfights, Dev. And with only 30 seconds left, Overt are going to need to find an opening pick.
It's going to be so hard to clear out the position at Harry Potter under the stairs where Jack Daddy is. Two are creeping up Freezer. They don't have a lot to work with, and there's a crossfire held. Order! Sawyer goes deep. He's the one to try his best, but it's now all elements. He's taken down. Order, push for overtime.
That just looked so comfortable from Order. I mean, you know, it did not feel like they were getting pressured in any way, shape, or form. At the end of the day, when you're hitting those shots as Overt are trying to make their way in, and you're doing it as they make their first step onto site or out of the staircase, it just makes things so much easier. You don't have to then realign that crosshair to try and hold that spray. Tidies things up a lot more. And here we go. First point on the board for Order for OCN Stage 3. That's pretty crazy to think about.
Crazy to think it took them this long, but they finally get on the scoreboard. They're no longer in last place. They're above Rhythm, despite having a worse round difference than Rhythm at this current time.
Guess the defensive side for Order will be somewhat comfort for them, knowing they've got that... yeah, shoot.
It was 3-3, right? Like, both halves were 3-3. Order, if anything, it's the fact that they won Laundry 2 out of 3 times they defended it, whereas Dorms was only 1 out of 2 times. So, I don't know, I'm actually kind of 50-50 on this. I won't say that Order have won this by getting the defense on overtime. If anything, they might have lost it because, you know, assuming they can win this side, they'll have to, if Overt win their defense down in Laundry, or Dorms, then Order will have to go to Dorms, which they only won 1 out of 3 times. So, I mean, statistically, it's actually not as favorable as it looks at a surface level.
Certainly fair enough. Coming off the back, they'll have a small bit of momentum, although Overt will have a much better read on what they're trying to do in this round. I don't know. I couldn't see how much they'd changed on site, if I'm being completely honest. So, whether Overt take a similar approach, it's all but the same setup, but Nate's shield has been extended into elbow rather than to hold that freezer angle.
Once again, this is the perfect setup for the Flores to come through, but it looks like Overt aren't opting to do that, at least not yet. I mean, you use one Flores drone to take out the elbow shield, the other one to take out the brick shield. But hey, I mean, I can't question results, right? Like, Overt didn't successfully get their rear push this last round. They've had more success on their front pushes. I think that rear push is the play here, but they need to step up their method because they haven't quite had the best luck of it so far. As Cairo moves on over to blue, it's not going to have a long timer on that drone. You better make sure it does its job. Let's see.
It was ambitious.
Oh, he did get it. He got the brick shield with it. That was well done to him.
Was that with the same? Surely
yeah.
That wasn't the same.
100%. He's got a second one coming in now. He's going to go for the other shield. And I think he's going to get it as well.
Goodness me. Yeah, absolutely laughing. Nate's actually moved that shield even closer. That is beautiful.
It's one thing to deal with the util, another thing to actually take the map control though. So Overt can't call it a job done just yet.
No, still plenty more to be polished, if you will. Cairo starting to poke and prod a little bit more. What's really interesting, there is 0 reinforcements left for Nate to cover off elbow. So it does mean it's an avenue in from blue without needing any kind of forced pressure. But again, 35 seconds. Have Overt done enough? That's the big question.
Oh, they might be able to take down Jack here. That's a huge explosion for Overt. But Bailey steps up, traded back. All Nico in the 1-on-2.
I was going to say, you'd expect him to take that calm before the storm, rest and wait for that moment that Overt are forced into an angle.
Yeah, C4.
Unfortunately, just does enough damage. C4 goes, oh, he gets caught on the door. Nico's rotated back around into blue. We might be able to find the backside.
Nico!
They have no clue. Elements goes down. Twent gets off the kits. Order win round 13 on time.
What a 1 versus 2 clutch for Nico, stepping up and taking match point for Order for the first time in this game. OT is not the end of the story. Order has another chance to redeem themselves here. What an explosive entry for Overt. Took what they needed and then pedaled to the metal. Bailey really thinned out the numbers, but it was Nico in the 1-on-2. Overt had no clue that he'd made that rotate back on through. Twent didn't stick the kit and couldn't find the kill. And that leaves Overt with a lot of questions and Order ready and primed to take this map.
No kit, no clue.
Pretty much, mate. Pretty much.
Just changing the dynamic of the conversation there, but calm and composed from Nico to rotate back around and not feel too pressured after finding that kill to continue forcing the issue with elements. We've got an Overt tactical timeout called by Pants, the coach, and it will give them the ability to, heading into map point, just calm things down a little bit. It's now defense. You can see Sawyer, it's all in the head, mate. It is all in the head. 95% mental. You're talking to the godfather of mental, mate.
A lot of pressure on these boys right now. They've already outdone themselves with the 1 point they walk away from a worst case scenario, but they know they can do so much more. They knew it against Knights in that 7-5 gut-wrenching loss. They know it here once again. They've given it their all, but Order have taken match point away from them. After having the chance to win this in regulation, I can't imagine how Overt would feel to lose it in overtime.
Well, I guess it just comes back to that conversation we were having before it started, which was no matter what happens for Overt, this has been an incredible start for them. They've shown us that they deserve to be here. They're forcing their way into the conversations of OCN. Sure, it would be absolutely gut-wrenching to have been on map point, to have let it slip and then to allow Order to take the game. But regardless, you've gone toe-to-toe against one of the best teams in OCE again, consistently performing Playday after Playday. It is only the first 3, mind you, but it's certainly giving us such a great look into what this roster might be able to achieve should they continue to compete at this level.
Big gamble here for Overt. Downstairs to Laundry on their defensive side. They won this only one time. And Order won it twice on the attack. Overt, only a 33% win rate on this bomb site so far in this game, whereas Dorms was a 50-50. Even Kitchen Meeting, they won the only time that they played it. Big risk here taken from Overt, but they've got to have confidence. They need to have some conviction here because Order's about to take it away. Just look at Bailey's kill count, 16. Oh, he's been absolutely popping off tonight. And Order, that finally this match is within their grasp. They've got to take it now.
It's that third eye cam, I'm telling you. That bird's eye camera is what it's all about. It's given him the power. And what I love from Overt is their ability to just hold positions and waste as much of Order's time as they can. You know, we saw it in the earlier parts of the round and we're still seeing it now. It looks like Cairo's just fallen back with the rest of the team. And that's a minute 30 down where Order haven't really been able to progress to site and they're still clearing the first floor. They still don't know that it's completely clear. You can see Bailey's drone was just making its way through meeting right as we went down, and now Order are going to have to get that move on.
Yeah, but fortunately for Order, Overt have done a lot of the work for them in terms of opening up these hatches and these rotate holes. So once Order do establish that they've got map control, they can quickly spring into action. I did see a couple of drones from Order getting very close to site. I think Jack Daddy actually droned all through blue when there was no one there. So I wonder whether Order might have a couple of sneaky drones on site. Overall, they're actually really low on drones. A whole minute to go, and there's only 3 left. This is going to be 2 left now. This is going to be so blind and so difficult for them.
Order with that front side push, Dev. We know how devastating it's been. With them on the attack, they could continue to do so as well. Overt holding their breath with only 40 seconds left.
Benala, the ex-Kairos from Elements. Order trying to get more lines aside. Oh, Twent! Good night! Specker steps up on match point to put Overt in the dirt. Order, 25 seconds for the execute.
Now they're going to have to play and stand strong against one of Osa's best. Sawyer rotating back into the corridor now. Edpan still holding firm. Bailey finds a kill with a nade. It's starting to fall apart here for Overt, but they stand strong. Cairo finding himself a triple. It's all on to Nate. And this round is bang out of Order.
Overtime match point for both teams. Overt have pulled it back. We're going to need every single round possible to settle this. Overt are not done yet. What a game. They're riled up and they're ready for the final round of the match.
And you said it, Dev. You said if Order can't successfully take the 2 rounds straight, that this might be a hindrance for them. That going to Kids and Dorm on their second attempt of the defense in overtime, it might not bow as favorably. And I guess we are certainly about to find out. Oh, yes, Cairo, yes, inject it. Woo. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, I looked away from my screen, you beta.
Almost brought the Ying. Now remember, one of the times Overt won their Dorm's attack was when they did the Amaru rush with the attic Gon 6 rush as well. And look, another thing I will say is Overt only won that laundry defense one time in regulation, and they managed to repeat that. Order might be able to do the same here. I'd say this is about as 50-50 as you get on this final round. And, well, I mean, there's a lot of work to be done here for both of these teams. So many stakes on it. Overt, I mean, they had never expected to go this hard, go this far. They've already taken their first win at OCN. They've taken a point off of Order. They're looking to take 2 more.
10 seconds left.
Or 2 in total, that is. If they win this round, that's another point on the standings for OCN. And, oh my God, it's just impossible to imagine that Order have struggled so hard throughout this stage. A loss to Ruffle 7-2, a loss to Wildcard 7-2. Both teams, they've repeatedly managed to stay above in the standings for Stage 1 and Stage 2, and now Stage 3 comes round. If they can't take down Overt, then I don't know what lies in store for Order.
Well, 2022, I think, still will, for OCN anyway. Don't think they'll be in... Again, I'd have to have a look at the relegation stats. I don't think it's even possible for them to...
very unlikely.
Yeah, I think Wildcard and Rhythm would have to have an unbelievable season, and I think that's the only way. Again, we'll have a look and kind of talk about this probably on another play day, especially when it starts to get... Oh my God, Nico C4 nearly caught Edpan there, but... Yeah, look, your point is 100% valid and is really concerning as to where Order are at right now. Like, where do they get their points from in Stage 3? We may well not see them in playoffs, which is just kind of crazy to think.
Another point here against Overt would certainly help. Aggressive hold now for Jack, but he's about to lose his shield. The flashes proceed. They're gone 6. My question is, how will Overt deal with this electrical? They've tried the exothermic on the floor. I don't think it's been good enough. They need to try to deal with the real culprit, which is the Kaid electrical that's hidden inside the wall. You can see where Nico's placed it. this is nigh impossible to shoot off from below. Realistically, the only way you get this off is with some kind of explosive. Cairo's trying his best. Can he get the angle? He might not even know where it is, but the claw was destroyed, and the frags start to go through. The wall's about to be breached, and Order are waiting to receive.
They're going to have to. They're not going to be given a choice. In fact, Overt, they slow things back down. But look at where Order are. They're bunched like bananas in dorms, in bunks. This is interesting. Overt, I don't know whether they'd be expecting that. Three players that might be able to punish them, Dev.
Sacrifices so much ground as well. Problem is, Sawyer's not going to be able to do a lot, even if he gets into Attic, because of the shield from Nate and the lack of cover. Still has one nade left, but he uses it. Nate also has dropped down, forfeiting that kid's position. Twent finds the opener. This could be it.
It's going to have to be as Twent goes down. Ed Pan Sawyer, they'll be able to find the double kill. It's all in a Specky now, who holds in a 2 versus 1. 5 seconds left. They've got to go for the kill right now. Both players just on the side. Twent turns back around to stick the kit. Specky can't rotate. He's stuck. Ed Pan, can he hold firm? It's another win on the board for Overt, and it is 3 straight losses for Order.
And they just can't believe it. From OCL into OCN and taking names, Overt are beside themselves. Unbelievable what these young gunners are achieving.
Soak it in, boys. Soak it in. Another fantastic performance. And they are here to fight. They have staked their claim in OCN. They have proven to us that they deserve to be here. Wow. What a way to show their true form. And Vast, I mean, you've been sitting back watching that entire game. What a performance. What a fight from Overt.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with how they were able to go for so long and keep up the pressure. They didn't really seem like they were running out of kind of energy and whatnot. Every time they won a round, they were all getting a hype, and it was really a really good showing for them. And I was really impressed with how they were able to keep up with Order for so long.
Dev, is this disastrous for Order?
I mean, it's nice that they at least found 1 point out of this, but my god, it's pretty devastating. It's a 7-2, a 7-2, like I've said so many times, like both against teams that they have consistently stayed above in the standings, and now a loss to Overt. It doesn't get much grimmer than this. I mean, at this point, even the Rhythm versus Order game is not a set win for Order. They're going to have to fight tooth and nail for every single point, and they're going to need to perform again, not just Rhythm, but other opponents as well, like the tougher ones like Bliss and Chiefs, in order to make sure that they don't end up in the bottom 2 of stage 3. This is really, really atrocious from Order, and there is no one that would be more critical of them than themselves.
Which is crazy when you look at the KDs from Order. It looks like they should have been able to take that with a little bit more convincing fashion. Bailey popping off 17 and 11, but Vast, I mean, we're saying it's dire for Order, but what was going wrong in that game?
Yeah, I mean, despite, the result, I think there were a lot of rounds that they played well. I think there were a few rounds where they made the right decision, made the right adaptations. I think just starting off this game really weak was the biggest downfall. I think the way they were playing Oregon was... I think they were kind of misplaying it, especially when they were trying to roam clear Overt. I do have to say, I really like Overt's roams, by the way. I think they had a clear goal on what they wanted to do. They wanted to, contest certain areas of the map. They were all helping each other with crossfires, vertical play, and they always had a clear way to get back to site, to full off. And I think, their roams were really impressive, but Order's approach to clear the roams, they didn't really use much of the map. We saw them kind of funneling quite a bit, not really using initiative, kind of waiting for someone else to drone and to kind of tell the rest of the team what to do. You know, Oregon's quite a big map. You know, I would like to see Bailey, Specker, you know, their entries using more of the map, trying to kind of pinch Overt's roamers, and you know, that's how I would clear it. I think as well, I did talk about kind of the win condition for Order would be to shut down the entries. They took a different approach and kind of just played on site, which was working well for them. It was definitely a viable choice.
Yeah.
Overt don't really look like a team that aren't that, you know, clearing utility is not really a strength of theirs. And I think Order's adaptation to play on site, play with heavy util, play power positions, I think it was the right call, but it's kind of hard to say because I think, you know, there was one round I think that they're doing well, you know, 5v5, there's 25 seconds left. I'm like, you know, Order look really good here. And then, I don't know, Overt just somehow get 3 kills in 5 seconds. And I'm like, where is this happening? There was so many rounds like that, and it's really hard to pinpoint where it's going wrong for Order in those situations.
Well, one person that might be able to give us some insight, rather from Overt side, is Sawyer. Let's bring him in. I'm sure happy and golly as ever. Look at him, nice big smile on the face. Mate, what an incredible performance from you guys. You know, you've forced well, you didn't force, you were on OT to begin with, and then, you know, you kind of just kept fighting in OT itself against Matt Point. How does it feel for Overt right now? You guys have come in and made an incredible statement so far.
Yeah, we're very happy. We weren't ruthless enough today, to be honest with you. Made small mistakes, small lapse in judgments, not understand the situation. We should have dominated them with all respect to them. I love them as a team, but that shouldn't have not been that close. But yeah, we're happy that we're winning at least. I think that's a positive. A lot more calm today, more clear thoughts, static in moments, but good for the most part. So we're happy, we're very happy.
Yeah, I think it was a really good performance from you guys. It was quite a back and forth game, so it's really hard to kind of pinpoint parts of the game. But I want to talk about, I think the way you guys used attack timeout was at a really important time. You know, the game was really going round for round. I think that was, you know, the perfect time to use it. I want to kind of talk about how you guys kind of use that timeout. You know, was it a reset, or were you really kind of discussing how you wanted to move forward?
Yeah, it was really important. I felt that in the moment that we needed to work out where we wanted to go to start with, because we've been quite strong with the Dawns one, but also the roam on basement. So we had a pretty clear understanding that we wanted to go basement roam. And then we just spoke about small things. Like I said, we were quite not using our brain, I guess, not thinking in the right situation. So we really want to just make that clear to everyone that, you know, we just need to start to understanding what they're doing because they're not changing it up. And we need to start punishing that. And I think we did that quite well with the defense. And then with the attack, just a really good play call, I think, from a few of us with the information that we received, just to like understand that a plant is probably more appropriate in games and get that wall open. So yeah, that was just really key, I think, and that was really important for us.
Yeah, mate. Well done. Congratulations after MVP last week. You've certainly come in hot for week 2 as well, so congrats on that. Look, it's amazing watching you guys, and I know you've always said that you have low expectations. You don't want to get too ahead of yourselves coming into OCN. You're just looking for this as a learning experience. It's highly likely you're going to end up playing in relegations anyway, right? But, I mean, you beat Rhythm. You know, you played really well against Knights. You've just beaten Order. Like, when do you start to say, okay, we can have pretty high expectations of ourselves?
We do set high expectations of ourselves. It's just, yeah, we didn't want to we didn't want to underachieve, so we wanted to set the boundaries low. But we also, these aren't taken for granted. It takes a lot of work. I put a lot of work in to get to this point. A lot of prep work today. They played exactly how we expected. And it also looks like they're in a slump, hopefully not for too long. But yeah, I think for us, it's just important that we just take advantage of every situation that we're put in, make the most of it, and hopefully we can continue to win.
Look, mate, you have made the most of this opportunity to be an OCN. There is no doubt about it. We'll give you the floor here. Any final things you'd like to say to anyone at home?
Yeah, appreciate our organisation in Overt. Fantastic supporters of us. All the people that support us, we're grateful of that. And shout out to my IRLs. They've wanted to shout out. So shout out to the Lair Discord. Love him.
Yeah,
Good supporters.
IRL, so I'll have to remember that one, mate. Look, congratulations. You're now sitting on 5 points, which is pretty outrageous considering the first 3 games you've stepped into OCN. But I look forward to watching your match against Bliss tomorrow. So best of luck, mate.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
It is kind of insane to think how well that they've been playing. And Vas, maybe you can clarify for me and some of the viewers at home, to a non-intelligent person like myself, a non-intellect as we like to call us, Overt look like they're playing incredibly well. Is that like what you see on face value as well?
Yeah, I do. I'm not entirely convinced yet. I want to see them versus different playstyles. I want to see them. I want to see them versus Chiefs and Bliss. To be honest, I think those 2 teams will really test them, because what I'm seeing from Overt, I'm seeing a lot of like aggressive entry, but like teams are just giving the whole map, and I can imagine versing, someone like Jigsaw and Worthy. They're not going to get the entire map and have that freedom to do whatever they want. Yeah, but I think there's so many good things that I just wasn't expecting from them. Like I was talking about, their roams. They're not just roaming for the sake of roaming. There is, thought, and there is a goal. You can see the steps. So I think there's a lot of positives for them. And I'm kind of excited to see how they... I think, honestly, that they could get more wins, to be honest. I could definitely see a lot more wins coming from that team.
There certainly is. There's a feeling about Overt that they've got something in store for us for Stage 3, but we've got something in store for you. It's coming up right after this break. It is the game of the day. Chiefs take on Bliss. We'll be back in a second.
Defenders have located the diffuser. Remaining. Left. Attackers bomb diffuser has been dropped. 10 seconds remaining. Bomb located by attackers. 5 seconds remaining.
Order now at macros.com.au.